Welcome back to the AG Chelsea TV channel. In this morning video, we'll find out the latest news about Chelsea FC last night. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss daily update from my channel. Chelsea face £20 million valuation gaps problem over prime transfer target. Chelsea are said to be interested in re-signing Crystal Palace star Marc Guehi as they look to address their lack of depth at centre-back. The Blues don't lack depth by the literal definition of the phrase, even with Wesley Fofana potentially out for the rest of the season, or at least most of it. Enzo Maresca does not appear to be convinced by Axel Disasi, who has been mooted to move on. While Dossin Adarabioyo seems to be viewed as a supplementary option rather than a starter, Chelsea still have Fofana to come back, but the Frenchman's injury history suggests another starting centre-back may be required if the Blues are to compete consistently at the very top level. Former centre-back Guehi has been tipped as a possible replacement, having become one of England's top defenders over the last year or so. Guehi attracted serious interest last summer when Newcastle United chased him until the very end of the window. But Crystal Palace stood firm, demanding £75 million until the very end of the window. Palace chief Steve Parish said after the window, "I don't think the window worked out exactly the same format that we thought it would. Maybe we thought at the beginning it'd be more likely that Marc Guehi went and we kept Joachim Andersen. We accepted that bid for Andersen, which then made it very difficult really to sell both of our starting centre-backs in one window. That's not to say it wasn't still an outside possibility that we got to the right number, but then Chardy Riyad got injured. That doesn't look quite as bad as it seems, but it still left us very light and really made it impossible for us to consider at that point." He added, "We're proud of the fact that Michael Olay's gone to Bayern Munich. We want to be selling to the top clubs, or to clubs like Newcastle who've got great aspirations and have recently been in the Champions League. So we have to manage all of those things. We won't get really great young talent to come to us if they think they're going to be stuck." Chelsea now reportedly showing interest in Guehi, and with only 18 months remaining on the defender's contract, Palace are said to be demanding a slightly reduced £70 million. Palace are much less likely to sell in January than the summer, but they risk having to accept less money come the summer. According to Ben Jacobs, Chelsea have a valuation of Guehi of £50 million or less based on his current contract situation, and they are very unlikely to pay anywhere near £70 million to take the defender back to Stamford Bridge, where he came through the club's academy. That is a big gap between the two valuations. Chelsea wants Chalobah return. Injuries to Wesley Fofana and Benoit Badiashile have left Enzo Maresca's side short of options in central defence, forcing the club to rely on academy graduate Josh Achimpong, who made his full Premier League debut in the recent 1-1 draw against Crystal Palace, and as per the report from Football London, the current situation has led to the club considering ending Chalobah's loan deal with Palace this month. Chalobah joined Palace on a season-long loan late in the summer transfer window after being deemed surplus to requirements by new Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca. The Blues boss opted to leave Chalobah out of pre-season preparations, with a surplus of defensive options at the time, including Levi Colwill, Dossin Adarabioyo, and Axel Disasi. He was also one of several players to be exiled from the Blues' first-team facilities. Since his move, the 25-year-old defender has flourished under the guidance of Crystal Palace manager Oliver Glasner. Chalobah has made 12 appearances for the Eagles, contributing 3 goals, including a crucial strike in their recent 2-1 victory over Southampton. While Palace are reportedly keen to retain Chalobah until the end of the season, the club is said to be prepared for his potential departure, with other defensive options available in their squad. For Chelsea, bringing Chalobah back to Stamford Bridge would address their immediate defensive concerns. The versatile Englishman, who can play across the backline, offers much-needed Premier League experience compared to the relatively untested options currently at Maresca's disposal. The former Leicester manager has done a remarkable job in his debut season with the Blues so far, having only lost 4 games in the league, sitting at 4th level on points, just 4 points behind second-place Arsenal. However, their recent form has become a bit shaky, with 2 defeats and 2 draws in their last 4 games. Maresca will hope to sort out the defence and get back to winning ways to continue the push for a top-4 finish and potentially more. Graham Potter sends Chelsea message. The 49-year-old has signed a 2.5-year contract with West Ham to succeed Julen Lopetegui, who was dismissed earlier this week. Potter waited patiently for his next opportunity after leaving Chelsea just under 2 years ago, and believes the West Ham job is the right fit for his next chapter in management. Potter has been joined by Bruno and Billy Reid in East London, both of whom were involved in his setup at Chelsea, having left Brighton Hove Albion. It ended amicably between Potter and the Todd Burghley Clearlake Capital ownership when they agreed to part company at Chelsea. It was a heavy investment gone wrong following the £20 million in compensation paid to Brighton for Potter and his backroom team's services. During his media unveiling, Potter had a message for the Chelsea owners after returning to management, insisting his time at Stamford Bridge has made him a better person despite it not being a successful stint. Life is about taking the successes, accepting the setbacks and accepting the defeats, Potter told reporters. Accepting the mistakes and dealing with it and making you stronger. That's part of who we are. I think I'm a better person now for the experience at Chelsea, a better coach for the experience and well rested. Chelsea joins race to sign Kvaratskhelia. The 23-year-old has been one of Napoli's standout performers since his arrival in a €10 million deal from Dinamo Batumi in 2022, helping guide the club to their first Serie A title in 33 years in his first season. Kvaratskhelia, who has 5 goals in 17 league appearances so far this campaign, has held talks over a new contract with the Italian club, but an agreement has not been reached. The Georgian still has a deal until June 2027, but the lack of progress surrounding an extension has ignited interest from some of the top clubs in Europe. Paris Saint-Germain are seen as the frontrunners for the winger's signature, having unsuccessfully tried to prize him away from Naples last summer. But according to The Athletic, both Liverpool and Chelsea are also highly interested in Kvaratskhelia, who could command a fee of around €80 million. The report indicates that Liverpool, in particular, would consider a move for the winger in this transfer window should Napoli decide to cash in on their prized asset this month. Ornslot's side are well resourced in wide areas and may have to sanction a big money sale in order to raise the funds to try and bring Kvaratskhelia to Anfield. Napoli are also said to be interested in a deal for Federico Chiesa, who has barely featured since joining the Merseyside club from Juventus in the summer. And that's the end of today's video. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss daily update from my channel.